जाति नीति कुल गोत्र दूरगम नाम रूप गुण दोष वर्जितम् देश काल विषयातिवर्ति यद् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यत्परं सकलभागगोचरम् गोचरं विमलबोधचक्षुषः शुद्धचित्खनमनादिवस्तु यद् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि षड्भिर्निधिरयोगि योगिहृद् भावितं न करणैर्विभावितम् बुद्ध्यवेद्यमनवद्यमस्ति यद् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि भ्रान्तिकल्पितजगत्कलाश्रयम् स्वाश्रयं च सदसद्विलक्षणम् निष्कलं निरुपमानवद्धि यद् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जन्मवृद्धिपरिणत्यपक्षयः व्याधिनाशनविहीनमव्ययम् विश्वसृष्ट्यवविघातकारणम् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि हस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरनिरास्य कारणम् कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयं ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि निर्विकल्पकमनल्पमक्षरम् यक्षराक्षरविलक्षणं परम् नित्यमव्ययसुखं निरञ्जनम् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यद्विभाति सदनेकधा भ्रमात् नामरूपगुणविक्रियात्मना हेमवत् स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यच्च कास्त्यन परम्परात् परम् प्रत्यगेकरसमात्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जाति नीति कुल गोत्र दूरगम नाम रूप गुण दोष वर्जितम् देश काल विषयातिवर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यत्पदं सकलभागगोचरम् गोचरं विमलबोधचक्षुषः शुद्धचित्घनमनादिवस्तु यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमविभावयात्मनि षड्भिर्योगी योगिहृद् भावितं न करणैर्विभावितम् बुद्ध्यवेद्यमनवद्यमस्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि भ्रान्तिकल्पितजगत्कलाश्रयम् स्वाश्रयं च सदसद्विलक्षणम् निष्कलं निरुपमानवद्धि यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि जन्मवृद्धिपरिणत्यपक्षयः व्याधिनाशनविहीनमव्ययम् विश्वसृष्ट्यवविघातकारणम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि हस्तभेदमनपास्तलक्षणम् निस्तरङ्गजलराशिनिश्चलम् नित्यमुक्तमविभक्तमूर्ति यद् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि एकमेव सदनेककारणम् कारणान्तरनिरास्य कारणम् कार्यकारणविलक्षणं स्वयम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि निर्विकल्पकमनल्पमक्षरम् यक्षराक्षरविलक्षणं परम् नित्यमव्ययसुखं निरञ्जनम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यद्विभाति सदनेकधा भ्रमात् नामरूपगुणविक्रियात्मना हेमवत् स्वयमविक्रियं सदा ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि यच्च कास्त्यनपरं परात्परम् प्रत्यगेकरसमात्मलक्षणम् सत्यचित्सुखमनन्तमव्ययम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि भावयात्मनि
Hari Om, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come, let's invoke the power of praying together. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankara Vavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Shante 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, who also has the divine name as Maharshi Kapilacharyah, to such a supreme, omniscient, omnipotent and omnipresent power, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humble most salutations. To seek His grace, mercy, blessings, His love, His affection, His kindness, His devotion, His forgiveness, His strength, His resilience. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutvam in much more enhanced quantity. This is only and only to understand Thy true self. In this very life, as an experience which is all throughout my waking state. And this can happen only and only through Your grace, mercy and blessings. I fully understand this, and hence we all plead with You repeatedly. We beseech in You to grant us this rarest of the rare opportunity and become one with You. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara, the Shastra and the Ishvara, who have made this available to us. Om Tat Sat.
Paramanam
By the grace of the Divine Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, today we are on our Divine Discourse number 476. The VIVEKA CHOODAMANI Nidhidhyasana series number 5 on the 12th of May 2026. Swasti Shri Parabhavanam Samvatsara Vasantarutu Vaishakamasa Krishna Paksha Dashmayatito Purva Bhadra Nakshatra Vyadruti Nama Yoge Bhadra Karane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, together we all reaffirm and realign our oath, our goal and our very purpose in life, which is centered upon this one pivotal statement: Naham karta hari karta hari preranaya hari prityartham. Whatever act, thought, speech I think I am doing is out of sheer ignorance. I am none other than that pure consciousness, initially appearing as the Jiva and gradually moving to the witness consciousness, and from that witness consciousness state, which is the reflected consciousness, I merge into the infinite consciousness, Satchidananda. So by the grace of Almighty, this can become a reality in this illusionary life of Jiva Bhava. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om everybody. Yeah. So I was thinking, let's do this. These verses, they are absolutely intense verses. If we try to understand their meaning, it makes no sense. Let me be very honest on this point. Where you will know epistemologically that yes, this is the meaning of Param, this is the meaning of Shuddha, this is the meaning of Ghana. Fine. But how much you are going to listen? We have to have that experience. And these shlokas can lead you towards that experience. And this is, I am saying, out of my personal experience, which of course has been told to be my gurus, and to my gurus by their gurus, and their gurus, and that's why by the parampara it has come. So these verses are designed by Sri Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, where it takes you inward. They're not just philosophical verses where you understand them and then you try to memorize them. No, they are meant to be lived and visualized initially, then contemplated, and eventually it should become an experience. And how is that kind of an experience? Just an eureka moment. It will just come. See, as I told you, I get up the other day, and from where did that thought come? It was not a thought per se. It was more of a experiential feeling. I have nothing to gain, I have nothing to lose. And it was an amazing experience. Like, we become so light. And then looking forward, you don't see any kind of a burden ahead of you. Those anxieties, worries, which normally are there. And looking backward, there is no guilt, there is no bad memory of any incident. And I said, wow, that means this works. Why I'm sharing is I'm telling you without all humility. I'm only sharing this to give you that confidence that if you are at it, you will get it. That's how it is. So now there is no logical debate over here. You cannot consider it as this. Actually, if you go to see, it's a dry Vedanta. You can't explain beyond, because itself says that this is not explainable. And then you sometimes feel that it is too much of gymnastics on your mind and intellect. No. These are purely to be felt. And what should be the outcome? The outcome should be that there is a reduction of that body identification, which we are all now completely identified with our body. Then the mind identification. See, grossest is body. Next comes the prana, which prana we generally don't take into much of consideration. Mind. Then you get the aham bhava. Aham bhava, in the mind you have another faculty. Along with the intelligence, we have this aham bhava. And then you see around, you see, oh, this world is a reality. So real and so changing, so vibrant. And you can see so many different people behaving differently, reacting differently, emoting differently. So all this is what? That should reduce. So the reality of the world, the individuality, then the mind identification and the body identification. No, then what happens? That pravritti which we were talking about, that outwardly sense of mind will turn inward. Unless and until that happens, there is no respite. Understand it carefully. There is no respite from you understanding or experiencing or feeling. No. Everything will be at the mind level. So once that inwardness starts, where you have thrashed out all these four which we just now spoke, then you will see that there will be an inward silence. And immediately you will see the vastness which you have not experienced. What is that vastness? Not that you can see an horizon. You go to a seashore and you will be able to see till the end of the other side. Or you stand on a valley, you will be able to see the sky at great distance. Not that kind of a vastness. The vastness is about you having been confined to an individual. Now, when the individual itself is gone, then what happened? You have merged with the infinite existence. And how have you done this? You have done this with that constant awareness. That continuous awareness which has happened purely out of your abidance. Abidance in what? That non-dual, advaitic abidance. Now, I'll tell you today about these stages. Sometimes it's very clear because we are now going to the next stage. All the time we were talking of be in the Sakshi Bhava, be a witness. All this we were talking. Now we have to go to the next level. See, coming to the state of witness itself is a major achievement in our lives. Major achievement. Now, I would say that if we have come to this state, which can happen only by God's grace, the rest is like a formality, you can say. Nothing much to worry. It will take its time and it will happen. Like To give an example, like if a mother is pregnant, okay, a woman is pregnant, that means she becomes a mother, and as they say, no, don't talk about this to anybody. Second month, third month, no, let's not take risk. The doctor has said that your fetus is not that strong and whatever. Now, what they say, once you come to the 5th month, then there will be a baby shower. Now you can announce it has stabilized. After that, there is no risk. So coming to the state of witness is like that 5th or that 7th month. You don't have to worry after that. But till that stage, you have to put in your best. So, what are the stages? First stage, which everybody is identified with the body, the mind, and your aham bhava. Okay? As a jiva, everything you do, if you are prudent enough, you take responsibility for the good and bad. Otherwise, if you are a crooked person, you take the credit for all the good which happens. And then if something wrong has happened, you put it on somebody else. This is how we have seen the world functions. Now, the journey of a spiritual seeker starts. From this identification that I am the doer, he comes out. And slowly what he does is, he starts observing his body, his mind, which is known as metacognition, and which is graded the highest today in science. More than, they say, forget about your IQ. Your IQ, your emotional quotient, your spiritual quotient, all that has got nothing to do in front of this metacognition. And what is that metacognition? Looking at your own self continuously. So, you start observing your mind, and you start observing your body, and how the senses are reacting, just like you observe somebody else. So now what happened? You became a witness. And what is this state of witness? This state of witness is nothing but that reflected consciousness in your mind. That infinite consciousness which is all pervasive, it has the ability to reflect only in certain areas. Just like the sun has an ability to reflect on reflective surfaces, that could be a steel plate, or it could be a glass, or it could be a mirror, or water, clear water. So anything which has got that reflective medium, it is reflecting. So in the same way, this consciousness, it has the reflecting medium only in the mind. Mind of humans, mind of animals, all the living beings. Okay. Now, what is that special in a human being? Animal also reflects consciousness. I am also reflecting consciousness as a human. Then why am I called that this is very, very special creation of the Almighty? Now here comes the strong point, which is the mind of a human. Only this mind has got the capacity to understand that reflection. Other entities, the reflection is happening, but they don't have the capacity. Even if you tell them 10,000 times, they don't have the capacity to understand. So this is the difference. Okay. Now, having that special faculty, what happens? Now we started being in a state of metacognition, observing our own body, mind, senses, and our entire life. Separated from that, we are leading our life. Okay. So far, so good. Now what we have to move ahead is, from being in that state of reflected consciousness, now we have to establish ourselves in the infinite ultimate consciousness. Now this is the challenge. And these verses are going to help us in going to that state. And I'll tell you the simple trick to do this is, or the impediment which will never allow you to become that, unless and until you cross over what I'm going to tell you right now. The point is, as far as you are in this Jiva Bhava, even though you're observing this body, mind, senses, and this entire personality as a Jiva, you will still be in the state of reflected consciousness. If you want to get into the state of the infinite consciousness, you have to come out of this body. As I initially told you, that body identification, mind identification, everything has to be wiped off. So for that, what do I do? So when you are meditating, since we are going to now only meditate, whatever I'm going to tell you, I'll put the shloka on the screen where you can now and then slightly open your eyes and see which word I'm talking about. I'll be telling the meaning in two manners. One is a brief meaning and one is a detailed meaning. You are just going to, don't try to understand, because it cannot be understood. Whatever comes to your understanding, understand. Whatever doesn't come to your understanding, never mind, but allow it to enter your mind and be with it. Okay. So what is that impediment, or you can say what is the trick to get into the infinite consciousness? You have to come out of the Jiva Bhava, which means if you are even looking at this body, I'm not this body, is first level. That is kindergarten now, because now we are talking of the highest level. So this becomes kindergarten, which itself is a PhD for non-seekers. Now where do you go? You have to say, starting from, I am that infinite consciousness appearing in this body. So you start over there. So now you have moved yourself from the reflection, you have moved ahead. I am that infinite consciousness appearing in this body, operating through this body, mind and senses. Then you slowly move on to I am that infinite consciousness in which all this is appearing. Initially you said, to get that connect, you said in this body, in this jiva. Now you are saying I am that consciousness in which all this is appearing. Means what? Just like you are able to see you as a person over here, every other thing which you are able to see, perceive, become one with this body. Unless and until we get this, you will not reach the state of the Supreme. You will be in reflected consciousness. That is witness consciousness. But if you want to be in the state of the Supreme, you have to say, I am that consciousness in which all this is appearing. And when you say all this, your body becomes one with everybody around you. Everybody means it becomes the trees, the houses, the mountains, the rivers, the sky, the stars, the sun, the moon, anything which comes to your perception, that becomes one with you. And then you slowly cut down on those words. I am that consciousness, know that this is, know that it's all pervading. I am consciousness in which all this is appearing. So I am consciousness also you have to remove eventually. I am in which all this is appearing. Then eventually go to just I am, I am, I am. That is the Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya. So This way we have to graduate ourselves. So now you know from where we started and where we are currently in the reflected consciousness, observing this entire jivatva as a drashta or a sakshi. Now we have to move from the drashta, drishya and darshana. All these three tripod, what we call, you have to get out of that. And you land there. And while you're doing that, in between a thought comes, neti neti. Use that strong weapon of that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, neti neti. Cut it off. Then again be in that silence. Some other person appears in your mind. Neti neti. All these are illusions. So we becoming aware of that awareness itself. So earlier we were aware of the thoughts, and you say, I'm not the thoughts. You are aware of the emotions, I'm not the emotions. And that silent presence you experience at one point. Thoughts are not there, emotions are not there, feelings are not there, anxieties, worries, nothing is there. You are feeling that experience. Now understand that behind that silent presence, that experience of that silent presence, just be there. You will get a feeling of what is there behind this experiential awareness. So aware of that awareness is our goal now. Okay. So now here Bhagavan Shankaracharya from 254 to 63, these 10 verses, he starts on these lines. 254, which we have done, 55 we are midway. He withdraws from the anatma. If you have to see broadly what he's trying, where he's taking us. 56, then 57, he tries to slowly tell us, recognize that consciousness, that witness consciousness, as I explained the process. Then 58 and 59 dissolve the duality of the world. And eventually 60, 61, you are abiding in that awareness of that awareness. And eventually 62 and 63, it's all about being established in that non-dual absorption. So what is our challenge now? We have to ask again and again, are you the body? No, it is an object. This body is seen. Are you the mind? No, I can see my thoughts. Are you the emotions? No, they come and go. Then ask, what is that which never comes and goes? And that thought will start preparing you. So there is a constant awareness which is there, which never comes and goes. It is always there. And the second thing which you can do is all these are objects. Your mind is an object, your body is an object, your thoughts are an object, your emotions, your sensations, all these are an object. Now that awareness is the subject. So here you start looking at. As just we look at objects in the world, then we look at the world, then we look at all the relationships, then we look at the human beings which are various bodies, then at the mind level we look at the thoughts. Now know that all these are objects, and then you are focusing on, I am aware of all these. So you become that awareness, and going one step behind, you start becoming aware of that awareness. And constantly you have to work towards it, saying, okay, my thoughts are changing, it's an object. But something knows that my thoughts are changing, catch hold of that. Emotions are changing, but something knows how these emotions are changing. Body is aging, wrinkles are, I'm able to see, which were not there earlier. I'm able to see gray hair, which were not there earlier. All this is, I'm aware of these changes. Now get to know who is that person or that faculty which is aware of the awareness. So this way, and dissolve that knower itself, the drashta, the jnata, the karta, the bhokta. Dissolve him and say, now I am going further up. So this will be the advanced state which we can master. Okay, so we don't have to rush over here. This has to be done with absolute calmness and patience. Let that, everywhere there is a pause, that silence should work, and we should do it by closing our eyes, because the moment the eyes are open, your senses are attracting various things, and that consumes the data which RAS, what we call reticular activating system, which is at the back of your brain, which allows only 25 lakh bits of information to come every millisecond into the brain. So no sooner you have your eyes, ears, everything open, you will see that much of what you call as the bandwidth that is consumed by this brain. So you will be left with little to understand. So that's the reason you have to be in a state of silence. Close your eyes and allow whatever you are listening now, only that to get into your mind. So now one more angle you could see is to understand, since we are going deeper, we use the rope and snake example for illusion. We use the gold and the gold ornament for example, the pot and the clay, water and the wave, all this we used. Now how you should see this awareness, just like you open an app. Let's say you open WhatsApp, and then you see videos, you see messages, all of them, they come and they go. But does anything happen to the screen? Nothing happens to the screen. There were so many things which are, somewhere you have seen fire on your in your mobile, somewhere you have seen heavy rain in your mobile, somewhere you have seen there are bullets firing this way, that way. But did anything happen to the screen? So in the same way, that awareness which is there, nothing happens to it. Your thoughts, emotions, life events, they all appear in awareness, and awareness remains untouched. So this understanding is what is required for us, and we have to start feeling the verses. Like in each verse you can ask yourself, this is an exercise which you have to do. Am I able to notice that awareness? Is that awareness changing? Now what are we talking? Awareness is that reflected consciousness, that which is seeing, the drashta or the witness of your mind. Is that also changing? Is there fear in, does awareness have fear? Does awareness has any age? Does awareness suffer? Can it be divided? No. All this, when you start seeing, you see that it is untouched, undivided, unburnt, unaffected. So as you are there, as I told you, the next is the job of Ishvara. To give us that oneness feeling, you have to only make your attempt. This is like, a class where they say you only have attendance. If you have attendance, you'll pass. You don't have to give a study, give exam, no. Just be attentive. Attentively attend. That's all. You don't have to do anything else. See what a beautiful stage we have reached in life. Till now was our study, exam, questioning, not understanding. All that was up till this stage. But once you have come to this state as a drashta, a jnata, a karta, a bhokta, now you just attend. That's all. Okay. So this way we'll move forward. We'll go to verse 255. We were in Shuddha Chit Gana, which is the third quarter. But I will just explain briefly the first two quarters, then we will complete it. Okay, come. So what we are doing, as I told you, I'll be putting on the screen this verse 255. Here you can see Shuddha Chid Ghanamanadi Vastu Yad. That is in the third. We were here, but I will start with Yat Param again. The meaning is here, the words are here. In between, if you want, you can just open your eyes and see where we are, what it is, and again close your eyes. As I told you, whatever gets in, let it get in. Whatever doesn't get in, don't bother. But maintain that silence. And these are meditative verses. It has to be understood and practiced in a meditative manner. Okay. We start with 55, 255. Yat param sakala vaga gocharam gocharam vimala bodha chakshushaha shuddha chidghana manadi vastu yad Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani Bhavayatmani. Meditate on this in your mind. Brahma tattvam asi. That Brahman thou art. Okay, now we start from the I'll initially tell you the quarter by quarter meaning and then a brief meaning, and then I'll go into detail. Okay? Yat param sakala vaga gocharam. That supreme reality beyond the reach of all words, which means that supreme reality which words cannot describe. Words can describe what? Objects, emotions, ideas, experiences. But Brahman is not an object. It is the very existence because of which even these words, this mind and your power of speech works. Words can point towards Brahman but cannot capture it. Just like a finger can point to the moon, but it is not the moon. In the same way, scriptures point towards the truth, but it is not the truth itself. So every word works through distinction, category, limitation. But Brahman is limitless, partless, infinite. And to describe something which is like this, there are no words. So now what we should do? Before the words arise, you were already in existence. Now he's talking about your true nature of that Satchidananda. That silent existence before thought is closer to Brahman than any description. Now the second quarter, Gocharam Vimala Bodha Chakshushaha. Gocharam. Directly I can know. Vimala Bodha Chakshushaha. To what? Just now you said you cannot. But it said only to the eye of pure knowledge. So it is directly recognized by the eye of pure knowledge. Now, as I told you, we have to just be in silence. After we have done our Shravana, Manana, you have to allow it to absorb. So though words cannot describe Brahman, it is not that it is unknowable. It is directly seen not by physical eyes, but by sheer pure understanding. What is that eye of knowledge? It's that same mind which is free of agitation, free from ego, free from any sort of projection, and which is subtle and contemplative. This is how it is. And now we move to the third quarter. Shuddha Chid Ghanamanadi Vastu Yad. Shuddha, pure, Chid Ghanam, solid mass of consciousness, Anadi Vastu, beginningless reality. So, which means that which is pure, undivided consciousness and beginningless reality. This is the nature of the consciousness. So this Chidganam is a powerful word. Consciousness alone, that's all, Chidganam, without any mixture. There is no body consciousness, no ego consciousness, no mental consciousness. Consciousness and consciousness alone. But what have we thought ourselves to be? We are always with changing thoughts, with changing emotions, and a personality also changes. Good people become bad and bad people become good. All these come and go, but that consciousness is ever shining. So, like on a movie screen or on your own mobile screen, how many wars, tragedy, romance, disaster, fights, so many things have happened. But this screen, nothing happens. It never cries, nor it's ever cracked, never it changes. No. So life experiences arise in consciousness, but that consciousness remains untouched. So here in the last quarter he says, Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. The last quarter. Brahma Tattvamasi, you are that Brahman, meaning that power which is ruling the entire universe. That power you are. How? Not being in this body or being confined to this person, this jiva. No, you have to break the shackles. Just like you take a handful of water from the sea. Now that water is different from the sea. Now you pour it back into the sea and you ask, I want that same handful of water, fistful of water. Will you get it? It has become the sea. In the same way, till you are in this jiva bhava, you are that person. And when you say the person, then everything has got a limitation. It has a body, it has got an age, it has got an amount of fatigue, an amount of energy, an amount of memory, all this. But you are a witness of this body. In what sense? From the point of view of that universal power which is acting in this entire world under these three major forces which science has been talking: FEV, frequency, energy and vibrations, resulting in TAB, thoughts, action and breath. Know that you are nothing but that frequency, energy, vibration. Stay in that. Okay. Now we come to a little more in detail. Be in that state of mind. Don't come out. Maintain that silence. Yat param sakalavaga gocharam. Again we have come back to the first sentence. That which is param. This sets the tone for the entire meditative contemplation. The term param comes from the root pra, meaning to fill, crossover, excel, which has a great depth in Advaita Vedanta. Now it is not a casual adjective, but a precise pointer to the ultimate status of Brahman. So that param which signifies the highest reality, transcending that every category of existence, experience and cognition. Know that you are now moving towards it, which is beyond all limitations and dualities. There is no subject-object duality, nor a cause and effect, nor a manifest and unmanifest, nor gross and subtle. This Param, which is untouched by the Shadvikaras, birth, existence, growth, modification, decay and death. Now, Sakala Vaga Gocharam, it is beyond the reach of all words. The mind operates in duality and limitation. But something which is not in duality nor in limitation, how can you understand that? Which we are all facing as of now. It has to come by experience when you completely, by the fact of neti neti, using that technique, whatever comes to you, being in silence, just drop everything that comes to you, neti neti, and then it becomes knowable. Vimala bodha chakshushaha, to that eye of pure illumination. So in this way, that Brahman, that is my true nature. Anything which comes to my mind and understanding, I completely neglected saying neti neti. I remove it from my mind. And eventually, in such a state of practice, I only experience that supreme power appearing as everything in this universe. So we have to rest in that sense of boundless, pure knowingness, allowing the mind to dwell upon this, that I am that one which supports the entire universe. So that power which we have discussed as frequency, energy, vibration, in one word it is called as Param. How do I reach there? Know that whatever you are operating with is an object. You are other than your mind, other than your senses, other than the body, other than the thoughts, other than the feelings, other than the Shadripus, which are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. All these are in the mind. I am an observer of the mind. Param. Be in that silence. Anything which comes to your mind, say Neti Neti. Disown everything. Only then you will own everything. Okay, now we move on to verse 256, and after this I will tell you a story about how NaradMuni once asks Lord Vishnu, what is this Maya Shakti of yours? I don't understand. How does it work? Then Lord Vishnu shows him how the Maya Shakti works, so we'll understand that. Okay, come, let's go to 256. Shadbirurmibhira yogi yogi bhavitam na karanair vibhavitam buddhya vedhyamanavadhyamasti yad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So in the same fashion, we'll go with the brief meaning and meditate on the detailed meaning. Shadbirurmibhi. Shadbirurmibhi ayogihi, meaning by the 6 waves, unaffected, untouched, unaffected by the 6 waves or modifications of worldly existence. Now what is that? 6 waves are kshuda. Kshuda means hunger. Trishna, thirst. See, we all have from time to time. Each one has maybe a slight difference in their timing, but from 4 hours to 6 hours, in between that, you will get hungry if you are healthy. Trishna, take the same time, maybe a little less. You get thirsty once in 2 hours, 3 hours. Shoka, sorrow, the 3rd wave. Moha, delusion. Oh, you fall for something which is like a bubble on water. You think that, oh, this is my life. And how that thing, person or a place kicks you, you will realize only when it kicks you. And how does that kicking happen? That is Ishvara Krupa. Because he wants to drive away this moha. Jara, old age. This is also a constant factor. You want it, you don't want it. At best, you can delay it. That's all. If you lead an unhealthy life, this old age will come to you very quickly. If you lead a healthy life, it will come to you at the right time. Now, how do you see that some people they don't get old? No. Just because they are in comparison to the people who are getting old by a bad lifestyle, you consider these people are not getting old, but these people are getting old as naturally they should get old. And finally you have mrityu, the death. This is how it is. These are the 6 Shadbirur Mibhira Yogi. So you are what? All these belong to the body, not to you. You are a witness of all these changes. Never say, I am hungry, I am thirsty. Practically, you may have to say that. You can't go and tell somebody this body is hungry, give it food. No, I am hungry, you have to say. But within you should know that I am not this body. Now, hunger is a wave. Shadbirurmi. Thirst, sorrow, delusion, old age. Recognize all that as a witness. Be in that awareness and know that all this is happening to this body. Hunger belongs to body, sorrow belongs to mind, delusion belongs to ego, but you are the witness of all this. Waves belong to the ocean, only to the surface, not to the depth. You are in depth, that awareness. Then yogi hrud bhavitam, contemplated in the heart of the yogis, the second quarter. Brahman cannot be discovered through noise or argument or an extroverted living. That pravritti bhava, what I told you, you as far as you are moving your attention into the world, you will be lost. It cannot be discovered at all. It is only discovered or recognized or understood in that silent contemplative inwardness, the nivritti. That heart, here which we call as not the physical heart, it means that innermost consciousness. So, if you start doing yoga, you're not going to create Brahman through meditation. You're only going to remove the unwanted stuff which has been imposed on that Brahman. The meditation removes that agitation, that identification, what we discussed, that restlessness. It just removes, just like a mirror which is covered with the dirt and dust. Now, it's not able to, you go and stand in front of the mirror, it's not clear. You're not visible. Now, clean the mirror. You will be able to see yourself absolutely clear. Did you create a mirror over there? No. Mirror was already there. You removed the dirt. In the same way, all these agitations of our mind, the 6 waves, what we just now discussed, remove them by going inward. Dhruva, he first searched for Narayana outside. Then NaradMuni told him, you do meditation on these lines. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And with his mind he meditated. First few weeks he was eating fruits, drinking water. Then after a few weeks he gave up fruits. Then after another few weeks he started eating leaves and drinking water. Then he gave up those leaves. Then he gave up water. He was only on his breath. Going inward, he discovered yogi vrid bhavitam. God can be discovered only when you go inward. And Dhruva did to an extent where even that outward push, where he had to go into the world and get the basic needs, he said no. Shadbirur mivi, all those what are there, hunger, thirst, everything. I'm not that. I'm not going to pay any attention to that. So when you wear noise cancellation headphones, what happens? It removes the external disturbance. Not that the disturbance is not there. Disturbance is there, but it has the capability to remove. In this going inward, it makes that subtle thing which is there inside available for your recognition and experience, anubhava. So this way, after that, na karanair vibhavitam, not perceived by the senses. So here he's trying to say, don't use all this, you will never be able to achieve it. That's what he's trying to say over here. Some tell you very clearly, if you take this medicine, you will never be cured. Don't take this medicine. Or they say, don't go to this doctor. Do this. Go to that person. Sorry. So, deeply now, understand, senses can only perceive sound, touch, form, taste, smell. But Brahman is not an object. That's why we say eyes cannot see it, mind cannot understand it. Because he is that very awareness because of which the senses function. So this is one aspect which you can use 24/7. Anything which is happening in your life, just don't say that the eyes saw it. What is that behind the eyes? Start questioning and try to feel that. Then we will reach where we want to reach. Then the last one, Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. That same standard phrase, the fourth line, that Brahman thou art, meditate on this. Where? Within. Within. Go within and meditate. Buddhya avedayam anavadyam. So that unknowable, buddhya avedayam, unknowable by this intellect. So what you do? What is that anavadyam? That flawless, defectless. Astiyat, that which exists. So know that Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. It cannot be grasped by the intellect. So don't use the intellect. Don't use the mind. Just to go inward and stay silent. Anything which comes to your mind, use that standard technique and antidote, neti neti. Keep doing this simple exercise. But you have to do it all the time. Not by sitting and doing your eyes with eyes closed. You are externally transacting in the world, but in between you are observing yourself constantly. That is the technique over here. So once you do it, that intensity, initially 10 minutes morning, 10 minutes evening, then 15, 20, 20, fine. But then it has to be constant. Here all these are just to give you an idea. What is this we are talking about over here? So being in this state, after you have practiced this morning, evening, with a little duration, once you come to about 20-30 minutes, then it is very easy for you to be in that state after the morning meditation till the evening meditation. And then after the evening for the rest of the time, and once you go to bed, it goes into your subconsciousness. And eventually when you get up, you are in a much easier position to take it forward. You are in that state. What I said, I am that consciousness in which all this is appearing. All this means what? even your body, mind, senses as a person, and everything else is appearing there. You are no different from anybody. As far as you are in that state of difference, know that you will be in the reflected consciousness. This is very clear. The moment you give up that difference, then you automatically fall under the infinite consciousness. For the sake of the worldly transactional purpose, you have to deal, because you know that we are all under one banner acting for a movie. But as far as the stage is concerned, the scene is concerned, I am different. Knowing that this is all only one and one movie, I act differently with that knowledge of oneness. So there is no hatred, there is no liking, disliking. Everything is subdued. As a result, nothing will affect you, because you have crossed your mind, you have crossed your body, you have crossed your entire Jiva Bhava. Okay. Yeah. Now we come to we'll understand the story. Come. Now you can open your eyes. So we'll see after this story, if we have time, I'll take up the verse 257. Otherwise, we'll end over here. Okay. Now, once NaradMuni was sitting with Lord Narayana, and see, he is always chanting the name of the Lord, immersed with Lord. So Maya doesn't do anything to him. So he has not experienced Maya. So what is this Maya we are talking about? How does it impact? What happens exactly when Maya sets in? Can you explain to me? So Lord Vishnu, he tells him, Narad, I'm feeling a little thirsty. Why don't you get some water for me? He says, oh, Narayana, by all means. This is there on Bhuloka actually. So at that point this discussion is happening, and Lord Vishnu is in the avatar of Lord Krishna. So that's when this comes from the Bhagavatam, this story. Okay. He says, oh, just give me some time, I'll go and fetch water from wherever is available. They were actually going in a deserted land. Like far, you could only see this dry land and here and there scanty trees. So that was the terrain over there. So there was one tree where below that Lord Narayana, Krishna sitting there, and NaradMuni, he has his pot. So he goes. Sorry. Now, as he goes, he sees a well, and there are women around the well who are drawing water and taking to their houses. He goes there and he begs for some water. He says, he asks one of the ladies, can I get some water in this small ball of mine? That lady says, oh, why not? And she draws water and she pours into his small pot, whatever he's carrying. Now, as she pours water, fine, he collects it, and then he says, let me also drink. Rather, I can't drink from this pot, that I will give to Narayana. And he holds his hand like this and he is drinking that water. So now as he is drinking that water, he looks at the face of that lady who is pouring that water. Suddenly what happens to him? He gets attracted by that lady. And he follows her. Sorry. Now he is going home. He follows her. And he says, I want some more water. And then he waits. He spends the night somewhere nearby. Next day morning, he knows that the lady will come to the well. He again goes and asks for water. So this way, sorry, he constantly, for a few days, he is after that lady. In fact, she is a girl. And then he said, I'm completely engrossed with this thought of this girl. Day and night I'm only thinking about her. And he says, now I should get married to her. Narada is young. He goes and he sees his father is a farmer. A decent, you can say not very rich but not poor as well. He goes there and he proposes to the father. I'm in very much love with your daughter. I want to marry her. Father asks him, what are you, from where are you, what is your family, what is your education, what assets do you have? Normal question what parents would ask. He says, I don't know to whom I am born, but I have been traveling from place to place, and this is all what you can see I am. And I have learnt some few techniques. I can work, I can write, I can read, and all that. He says, the father was convinced because he was looking very humble, simple, and very genuine. And only daughter. So he says, fair enough. Now that he is also happy that the son-in-law is going to stay with them. Otherwise, daughter will go away and he doesn't have any other child. So he finds him suitable and he says, okay, he performs the marriage. Now, marriage is done. Obviously, after the marriage, they have children. Not one, but every year one. So, in a few years, they have 4 or 5 children. And father-in-law is getting old. Till then he said, no, beta, tum ghar mein raho, aaram karo. I'll take care of the fields. Now he tells him, you take care of the field. So NaradMuni, he is already attached with the family. Affections are there, the emotions are deep. So thereby what he has happened now, he has become a son-in-law, then a husband, and then a father. And now he becomes a farmer because he is taking care of the fields. And all the time earlier he used to say Narayana, Narayana, he forgot all that. Now what he is doing, he is thinking about farming. He is thinking about the family, then the money aspects, then all the responsibilities, the social life. All this is now what is happening. So eventually this Narayana which was there is now slowly faded, and only these kind of things are coming to the mind. Arey, my wife didn't have to say this. How did she say that today to me? And why my son is behaving like this? And then why my father-in-law was looking at me like that? What about the school fees for my children? The family arguments, the finances, village politics also. All this was all the time going in his mind. Now being in this family life, then you see ups and downs. There was famine, crops failed, anxiety, fear, children are getting sick. Because when there is no water, then there are so many diseases which come up naturally. So whatever money they have, they've all gone. Now they have taken loans. and barely is able to sustain one after the other. 2 seasons there are no crops. Now like this about 12 years passed. Now Narada has completely forgotten about Vishnu. He said, I have asked him to wait over there, and what is this? That water, Vishnu, and his original question of Maya, everything he has forgotten. And in that situation, suddenly there is a flood. After famine comes flood one night. Not thick, dark clouds come in, and thunder and rain. Now he is able to see that the rivers from the neighboring areas also, that water is gushing, that house collapses. People are screaming. He sees that the father-in-law, mother-in-law both get washed away. And in one hand he is holding one child, and in another hand he is holding the wife, who is holding another 2-3 kids. Now one by one, the wife is not able to hold the kids, all gone. He also loses grip of their child he was holding. Wife also grip gone. Now both the hands, nobody is there. He is trying to catch hold of some tree or something and protect himself, but the current of the water was so strong, and he also gets washed away. And when he loses the grip and he is washed in the current, that time he says Narayana, he shouts. Till then he had forgotten Narayana, and he shouts, and then suddenly now he is in front of Lord Vishnu, Krishna. Krishna asks him, where is my water? Half an hour I have been waiting for you. You said you will come in 10 minutes, and where is this? You have been away for half an hour. What? Half an hour? He says, oh Lord, I'm so sorry. I fell in love with a girl, and then I married her. I became the son-in-law of their family, and then I had 5 children. I was taking care of the farms, and he explained everything. Finally rain came, storm came, and I was washed. And you are saying half an hour? Narada is frozen over there, completely shocked. Tears are flowing down his eyes. He falls at Lord Vishnu's feet and he says, my God, this is Maya. What is not there, we experience that illusion. And what is moha there? After experiencing it, we don't understand what it is. That is, falling into that trap is illusion, moha. See, we all experience a dream. Now understand here carefully. Dream was created by your mind. Nobody told you you are suffering in a dream. Nobody told you that you are a dreamer. You are not this character in the dream. You are the dreamer who is well-to-do, who has got good health, good relationship. Everything is going good in his life. Happily sleeping somewhere. Nobody is there to tell you. That's how in ignorance you are suffering as a dreamer, as a character in the dream, but you've forgotten that you are the dreamer. In the same way, we are now living the dream of the consciousness. This you have to get it point blank into your head. Waking state is nothing but the dream of the consciousness. Dream is nothing but the dream of the dreamer, which is created by the mind of the dreamer. Now here it is the consciousness has created this waking world, and you are not the character, but you are that consciousness itself. Simple to understand. You are that consciousness itself. Just like you were not the character in the dream, but you are the dreamer itself, here you are that consciousness itself. And this comes to that rare, privileged souls. Long and short, this is what we need to achieve. Know that you are that consciousness and be stabilized in that consciousness while living. Now, how can I live then? Know that this whole dream which is there, it's nothing like a play where you think that you're acting in a drama or a shooting is going on. You have a role to play and you're executing your role. But who are you? I am the one who has created this entire universe, that consciousness. So this is the power of the Maya. The dream world appears real as far as you are in the dream. Just like you put on this virtual reality glasses, you'll immediately see a jungle over there, tigers and the wild animals, snakes. You remove it, everything gone. So that virtual world appears real when you put it on. So with Maya, we are now with that virtual reality. So similarly, that waking world appears absolutely real just because of the ignorance. So, how we place ourselves? Know that Maya is acting. We all have, for our advantage, we know that we have played several roles as a dream character. Suffered, enjoyed, various stages we have gone through. Now, in the same way, there you had nobody to tell you that you are not a character in the dream. Here you have the Ishvaranugraha Shastra and the Guru Kripa. We got to know that this is, you are just a character in the dream of that consciousness. Your true nature is that consciousness. Because there is nothing else other than that consciousness, as there is nothing else other than the dreamer and his mind. Only with that one dreamer and his mind, he created that whole world and persons, people, objects. In the same way, there is one consciousness which has created all this. You have to practice that one consciousness. All the rest is an appearance. Okay, so we'll do the Vishnu Sahasranama, the Dhanvantari mantra, and I think we are good to close for the day. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Now we come to stanza 57, shloka 57. Maharshi kapilacharyah kritagno medini patihi tripadastrishadeksho mahashanga kritantakrit. 531. Maharshi kapilacharyah. One who has manifested as the teacher Kapila, the great sage. Rishi, the sage, is one who has mastered a portion of the Veda, and one who has mastered the entire Vedas is called Maharshi in the Hindu tradition. So the preceptor Kapila, who is the great master of the entire Vedic literature, is the propounder of the Sankhya philosophy. The glory of Kapilacharya is endorsed by Lord Krishna himself in the Gita when he declares, of the perfected ones, I am sage Kapila. Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. He says this. So, Maharshi Kapilacharya, which means he himself is Kapilacharya and as a Maharshi. So to such an Almighty, we offer our humble salutations, seek His grace, mercy, blessings. Now we seek the blessings of Lord Dhanvantari. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. We offer our humble salutations to Lord Dhanvantari. May Lord Dhanvantari give us the adequate amount of health till this Jiva is able to realize and become one with the Supreme Reality. Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Almighty and seek His mercy, grace and affection. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartam Shri Krishna arpanamastu idam namama. Om Tat Sat. Okay, so please meditate with these thoughts and get established, that which is the sole purpose, goal, path of our lives. Rest all is a delusion. Knowing that very well, don't fall as a trap. Having attained this state, then whatever you do is all fun. But first attain that. Till then you have to be serious. But after that it's all fun. Shri Krishna.
Victory to Hanuman, ocean of wisdom and virtue. Victory to Kapisa, who lights the three worlds with glory. Messenger of Rama, treasure of unmatched strength, son of Anjani, known everywhere as Pavan Putra. Great hero, powerful like a thunderbolt, remover of evil thoughts and companion of noble wisdom. Golden hued body, beautifully adorned, with earrings in your ears and curly hair shining. In your hand the thunderbolt and banner of victory, sacred thread upon your shoulder shining bright. Son of Shiva and child of Kesari, your brilliance and glory are honored by the world. Master of knowledge, full of noble qualities, ever eager to perform the works of Rama. You delight in hearing the glories of Rama, holding Rama, Lakshmana and Sita in your heart. You appeared in subtle form before Sita, and in fierce form you burned Lanka. Taking a gigantic form, you destroyed demons and fulfilled the noble mission of Rama. You brought the Sanjeevani herb and revived Lakshmana, and Rama joyfully embraced you. Rama praised you, saying, you are as dear to me as my brother Bharata. Thousands of mouths sing your glory, so said Sri Rama, embracing you with love. Sanata Brahma and great sages praise you, along with Narada and Saraswati. Yama, Kubera, the guardians of the world and poets, none can fully describe your glory. You helped Sugriva meet Rama, restoring him to his kingdom. Your counsel was heard by Vibhishana, and he became king of Lanka. The sun seemed like a sweet fruit to you, and you leapt toward it across the sky. With Rama's ring in your mouth, you crossed the vast ocean with ease. All difficult tasks become easy through your grace, O Hanuman. You guard the gate of Rama's dwelling, none may enter without your blessing. All who take refuge in you find happiness, for you are the protector of all. Your power controls your immense strength, and the three worlds tremble at your roar. Ghosts and evil spirits do not come near when the name of Hanuman is spoken. All diseases and pains disappear for those who constantly remember Hanuman. Hanuman frees people from troubles when they meditate on him in thought, word and deed. Rama is the supreme king of all, and you carry out all his works. Whoever brings their desires to you receives abundant fruits in life. Your glory shines in all four ages, lighting the whole universe. Protector of saints and sages, destroyer of demons, beloved of Rama. You grant the 8 siddhis and 9 treasures, as blessed by Mother Sita. You hold the nectar of devotion to Rama, ever remaining your devotion to Hanuman brings all joy. All troubles vanish and pain disappears for those who remember the mighty Hanuman. Victory, victory, victory to Hanuman Gosai. Please bless us as a divine teacher. Whoever recites this Chalisa 100 times is freed from bondage and finds great happiness. Whoever reads this Hanuman Chalisa receives success with the grace of Hanuman. Till Sita says, O Lord Hanuman, reside forever in my heart with Rama, Lakshmana and Sita.